Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from the Palatial Studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And the top of the morning to you and yours on this Monday, October the 18th, 2021.
I got some hot gossip.
All right, I love gossip.
Enough with the jibber jabber.
All right, well, give me gossip and jibber jabber, and well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, what are you trying to do?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to run a radio show, okay, with my beautiful co-host. It's 6:07 this morning. Mr. Fox, would you certify the time?
It's now 6:07 a.m.
6:07 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. We are back in the saddle on a Monday, young lady.
Back in the saddle again. That was an Aerosmith song from a long time ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, I'm back in the saddle again.
Okay.
And they start with the jamming, kind of like the jamming guitars that makes the rhythm actually sounds like makes you feel in the spirit like you're riding a horse or some sort of thing. It's like a giddy up kind of beginning to it, as back in the saddle should be.
Okay.
And then you have the lovely voice of who I forgot the lead singer of Aerosmith's name, of Perry, coming in.
I'm drawing a blank.
I know. Why am I?
Aerosmith, lead singer. Google. Alexa, tell me something, please. I'm setting off everybody's Alexa and Google.
I can see him, Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
And,
that's the guy that screams.
For a minute, I was getting him confused with Steve Perry. And I wanted to say Perry of a last name.
There you go.
But
so you had a big weekend by the looks of your Facebook page, I have to say.
Well, the funny thing is, Saturday morning, I didn't know that we were going to have some sort of a shuttle launch. There was a launch on Saturday.
Right.
Out of
the
Cape
rocket
Canaveral,
went up.
a rocket.
Right.
Yeah, and I saw that while I was
beautiful, isn't it?
It was so impressive.
You're running and just stopped you dead in your tracks. Like, wow.
Running east on Todd Avenue Saturday morning.
Okay.
Now, I was running there somewhere in the timeline of 6:15 or 6:20. But I read where that thing was supposed to launch at 5:34 when I started running. But yeah, I think it was like right around 6:15 running east on Todd Avenue.
Okay.
And I see this. I thought it was a shooting star.
Did you make a wish?
I didn't. I just
They
kind of
say when you see a shooting star, you're supposed to make a wish.
I raised my arms in the air like Rocky would, Sylvester Stallone would. And
I
said, yes, a shooting star. I saw it.
All right.
And then I got to Barbara's and, I went to the corner store when I got through running to get some waters and stuff. And Barbara said, no, you got to see the pictures. I got the picture of the rocket launch. I said, oh, that's what I saw. I thought it was a shooting star.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe it was Tinkerbell.
It could have been. It was, Evan, it was so magical and beautiful, though.
Now, speaking of magical, I'm finally, my wish is going to be fulfilled. Because, yes, I am officially going to say that Rachel and I, we're going to Disney World.
Oh, yay. Finally,
after
right?
contemplating and contemplating and contemplating.
Now, this is the park where you don't have the season passes for.
Right.
But you're going to kick in some extra money.
We broke down, and the only reason we did this is I sold my trailer over the weekend. Now, this may come as a surprise to you. I've downsized my entertainment company, so I don't use the trailer. It's been sitting in the garage forever and a day, and there's really no equipment in it anymore because I sold all the big gear. I sold it all off, and I just have all the medium-sized stuff, which fits in my SUV. So, gentleman came all the way from Sebastian, Florida. That's a long way to drive for a trailer.
Did he see it on Craigslist or some sort of thing?
No, I posted it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Is where I posted. Now, mind you, this was a 2017 5x8 enclosed Pace cargo trailer. Fully, completely, just nothing was wrong with it.
Had to be
Garage
in
kept.
top-notch
Yeah,
condition.
garage
a
kept.
2017.
Paid $2,500 and change 4 years ago for it. I advertised it for $3,500,
Yeah.
knowing I was asking a mighty price, knowing that I was not going to get $3,500. Guy says to me on the phone, he says, "Will you take 3,000?" And I was like, "How fast can you get here?"
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the way I look at it is I had a trailer for 4 years that I paid 2,500. I sold for 3,000, made 500, and I got a trailer to use for 4 years
Yeah.
and made all my money back.
You made good. And now you're going to spend it all at Disney World?
No, not all of it.
No.
No, we're going to use that money for the renovations, and it's going towards the renovations on the home.
Yeah.
But the first thing I said to Rach was, if I sell the trailer, we're going to Disney World. So as soon as the cash was in hand, I went online and bought 2 one-day park tickets for the Magic Kingdom.
And how much were 2 of those? Are you talking 175 a piece?
We're talking $149 a piece.
Okay.
With tax. So it came out to just over 300 with tax.
Yeah, it's a bit more than, like, say, going to Universal or
Now
or what am I going to in a couple of weeks?
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Now it's more than what I wanted to spend, but it's at Christmas time, and I really want to go to I've really wanted to go to Disney for a long time. I love Disney World. It's just something about going to Disney is magical opposed to going to Universal or SeaWorld. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can understand why they say it's the happiest place on earth.
Plus,
Because
it's
it really
like their
is.
50-year anniversary,
Yeah.
so you're going to see some new exciting things.
Yeah. So we're going on the week I'm on vacation. We're going to leave on the 21st of December. We're staying. We got a hotel already, and everything's been booked. And we're going to go to Disney and spend the entire day and evening in Magic Kingdom on that Tuesday. And then on the Wednesday, we're going to go to SeaWorld, not SeaWorld, Universal.
Oh,
So
you're
I'm
lucky.
really excited. I'm finally kind of like a dream is coming true because I haven't been in a while and I miss Disney, but it's just so expensive.
It's coming to fold then.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, if you go Christmas, boy, you're going to be going at such a pretty time.
Yeah, the lights and everything is going to be,
yeah,
it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited.
I would be happy if I could make it back to like Disney Springs Christmas time. And, that's like free, of course. You can walk through there.
Yeah,
for
we're
free.
going to do that while we're up there too. We're
Yeah.
going to go to Disney Springs and just kind of hang out and walk around and stuff like that. So we're excited. So speaking of excited, you had some excitement at your house this weekend. You had the kids.
Oh, we carved pumpkins.
I saw that.
It was pumpkin carving time.
That was flipping so cool. Those pumpkins look amazing.
Jaden did that by himself.
Did he really?
Yeah. He just started drawing on the pumpkins and then he started carving away. I got kind of like one of those safe carving kits.
Right.
Even the bigger carving knife from it was, I think, safe enough for him to use at this point.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
They're beautiful.
And they're like these grinning pumpkins, oh so bright. And, that's really getting into the spirit of Halloween.
And then Chef Bonnie whipped up this amazing dish for her for her wonderful boyfriend. I want to know more about this dish because when I saw the picture of this thing, my mouth was watering.
Didn't it look good?
OMG.
Like it could have been in a magazine, right? Like
Tell me what this was and what you did.
Well,
because it looked flipping amazing.
The secret ingredient was Gary Owen's barbecue habanero sauce.
Oh, that's right. The stuff that he gave us.
That finally broke open.
Okay.
I had it on the shelf in the pantry all this time. And, I got the urge to grill some chicken last night.
Okay.
And I told my Gary, I said, look what I'm going to use. I'm going to use Gary Owen's habanero barbecue sauce.
Okay. So the weather was great.
And it was
obviously.
perfect.
It was perfect. You went outside, you grilled some boneless chicken breast, was it? Or
It was
bone-in?
chicken thighs.
Chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Okay. So you grilled them on the grill, slapped some of that Gary Owen secret
Habanero
sauce,
barbecue.
okay,
Yeah,
on
it
there.
was so good. It made the
Okay.
chicken really
And what else
spicy.
was with it?
Shrimp, shrimp went in it. Very green spinach.
Did you grill the shrimp on the
Yeah.
Barbie? Okay.
I even grilled the spinach. I even
Did you?
well, I put the spinach in a saucepan,
Okay.
and I put that on the grill as well.
Okay.
I did not want to let some hot coals go to waste.
Right.
And potato salad last night too.
Mhm.
Let's see what else was on the plate. I think that ought to do
I
it.
don't know, but all I was like, I almost said to Rachel, "Hey, I'm going to Bonnie's. She's whipping up dinner, and I'm going to her house and eating dinner." So
Thanks.
yeah, that just looked really
Oh wow.
delish.
Thank you. I mean, it's just like I took the picture of it and I said, "Oh yeah, I think I can post that. That does look pretty good."
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of it, and it did turn out tasty.
And if you want to see what we're talking about, just go to Bonnie's Facebook page. You can find her. She's one of my friends on Facebook. You can click on it and friend request her, and then she'll decide if she wants to friend request you if you're not insane.
That's
But
why the pumpkins were smiling. They knew
yeah.
they were getting something good to
yeah,
eat.
but man, that just looks so
Wow.
good.
Yeah, it's like nothing like grilled chicken. And you know,
Mhm.
the time is right here in Florida.
Yeah.
The flies are less.
Mhm.
I haven't seen a single fly lately.
You know,
And
you mentioned something, and it's so true. You cannot go wrong with grilled chicken. You
oh
can't,
no.
whether it's a thigh with the bone, a leg with the bone, or a boneless chicken breast. You just simply you can't go wrong with chicken.
Yeah,
You can't.
when it has that smoky grilled
Yeah.
barbecue taste.
Mhm.
And you know what made me want to do it too lately? Because I went to Mission Barbecue a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it just got me, the urge to do some grilling on my own at home.
Mhm.
But definitely, I would say, folks, go to Mission Barbecue too to get some great barbecue
Yeah,
in
they have
town.
good food up there. They do.
do.
Really good food.
They
Really
do
good
it
food.
right, and buy yourself some heat, sweet then heat. It's called the sweet then heat sauce.
Okay. We I had an urge Saturday. I was sitting home, and Saturday was my lazy day. I did
Lazy day. We
I
need a little Spanky in our
absolutely
gang.
I did absolutely nothing Saturday. I got up 7 o'clock in the morning because I knew the guy was coming for the trailer.
Yeah.
So I pulled the trailer out, got all my other stuff out of the trailer, and I started throwing away crap that's been on the shelf in my garage
Oh man.
for eons,
Yeah.
years. I filled 4 trash cans full of crap.
Honestly.
Yes.
And
Crap
just
I have
things you weren't
yeah,
using anymore.
just stuff that just doesn't work. I was holding on to it. It's outdated.
Did you cry when the
Just
trailer was taken
it was
away?
a sad moment.
Don't you just hate that because you become so
It's like your car.
attached to your stuff?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like your car. It was and I said to my wife, I'm like, it was sad to see that go
Yeah.
because it was a part of me for 4 years.
Oh yeah. I
So,
feel your pain. If
yeah.
I would
And
see
now I can
something
relate to what you're talking about with the Mustang.
Yeah.
How Gary says, "Just get rid of the damn thing."
Oh,
So, yeah, I was emotionally attached to that trailer.
you get attached to something.
Yeah.
I know it's true. You really do. That trailer has helped you out for 4 solid
4
years.
solid years.
Hauling equipment, making money for you
Yes.
on top of it.
But I made money on the trailer.
Yeah, and
Selling it.
so then that should have put a little
Yeah.
smile on
It
your
did.
face.
It did.
Take the pain away just a little bit.
It did. Holding that stack of hundreds. I almost brought it in this morning and I
Wow.
was going to just like fan it out on the table just for,
Wow.
for giggles.
Yeah.
But it's sitting
But you
very
don't-
securely in my safe.
You don't want to take a chance to
No.
lose that money because
No.
then there would be no Disney World.
No, definitely not. So yeah, so sold the trailer, sold a couple of smoke machines to a friend of mine, and now the today starts the official renovations on the home. Well, it started last week.
Yeah.
The house was pressure cleaned. Today the painter comes over and paints Rachel's office
Oh
a
man.
nice mid grayish color
Mhm.
to go with the silver tone carpet that is being installed on Thursday.
I bet that's going to look lovely.
The guy's coming over today to measure from Jay's Floors and Moors. I've done a lot of business with them. They're on
Yeah.
Port St. Lucie Boulevard in Morningside, I think it is.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
And, and the reason I've heard of them too is they probably advertise, and I
Yeah.
see them. I
Mhm.
see them
Yep.
when I drive back and
Yep.
forth.
So, and then we have all the new office furnitures in the home, and then the company is going to come and hopefully do the installation for that on Monday of next week, because Friday we leave for Orlando
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're swimming with the dolphins.
Oh, I bet you
on
guys are so
Saturday.
excited.
I'm real
I'm
excited.
so
I am.
stoked for you.
I am.
That's
I'm feeling a little
wonderful.
under the weather this morning, so if I don't sound as
Oh.
excited, yeah.
You don't sound
Just
under the weather.
No, I'm
That's
feeling a
odd.
little. I'm not my chipper normal self this morning,
Just-
but
yeah.
I'm here.
But it's Monday.
You're here.
You know.
It's Monday. We're here. You scream ice cream. You know what? We all scream for ice cream. That's the way I look
And
at
more
it
of it,
this morning.
please.
Yes. Oh man, I too went out to. Oh, I got to tell you after the news
Okay.
about dinner Saturday.
Right on.
I have to. We got to talk about dinner after the news.
You bet.
Yes, I got lots to
You're gonna
talk
make us
about.
more hungry.
Lots to talk about. Anyway, it's 6:23 on the Get Up and Go show. Let's go right to the news desk. Bonnie has the morning headlines to get us going. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The family of Via Marcano demanding accountability from the Orange County Sheriff's Office in the 19-year-old's abduction and murder.
In these type of investigations, every second matters. And the time that they needed, they just basically dropped the ball.
Marcano family attorney Daryl Washington is calling for the termination of a deputy for not detaining the only person of interest. That's Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the apartment complex where Marcano lived. He killed himself days after Marcano went missing. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles is warning Floridians about a texting scheme. In a tweet, the agency said it will never text state residents asking for personal, medical, or driver license information. The tweet said if you receive the message, do not reply or give out any information. The FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products. Here's more on that story.
For the first time in history, the FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products, the View Solo device and the pods used with it. The agency says the company that makes the View Solo gave them data that shows it can actually be helpful to cigarette smokers. In an email to me, the FDA said the potential benefit to smokers who switch completely or significantly reduce their cigarette use would outweigh the risk to youth.
The FDA is saying that this particular product is appropriate for the protection of public health.
That's American Vaping Association President Gregory Conley. He says electronic cigarettes, which have been sold in the U.S. since 2006, are an important step in the fight to help smokers quit tobacco cigarettes. But last year, the FDA also took steps to keep vape products out of kids' hands, sending warning letters to 10 companies telling them to pull their flavored e-cigarette and e-liquid products because they appeal to young people.
Inhaling anything directly into the lungs is not a good idea.
Hasmina Kathuria is an associate professor of medicine at Boston University and the director of the Tobacco Treatment Center. She says she's glad the FDA is acting on its promise to regulate these products, but the U.S. Surgeon General's office says since 2014, e-cigarettes have been the most commonly used tobacco product by American kids, and Hasmina says that's concerning.
We think all e-cigarettes should not be allowed on the market because of one, the youth epidemic of nicotine addiction. 2, we know that there's FDA approved medications for smoking cessation that are regulated, that we know are safe, that we know that they're effective.
We know e-cigarettes aren't leaving the market anytime soon. We also know the FDA will make these authorizations and marketing decisions on a case-by-case basis. The agency told me it hopes to get to a place where every vape product is appropriate for the protection of the public health. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
2 people were shot on Saturday night in Fort Pierce, and police are looking for multiple suspects. Fort Pierce Police Department officers responded to the 1300 block of Avenue J at 9 p.m. in reference to a shooting. According to police, multiple unknown suspects drove to the victim's house and fired several shots, striking 2 adult victims. They were both transported to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Both suspects fled the scene after the shooting. During the shooting, police say a child was also in the area and was taken to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center for precautionary reasons. According to police, during the investigation, officers found many firearms and illicit narcotics inside one of the victims' homes. The investigation continues, and police are looking for a newer model Jeep, white with a black roof. If you can identify the suspects or have other information about the crime, please contact Detective Charles Montano at 518-774-1151 or call Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers at 800-273-8477. You can remain anonymous. Port St. Lucie police detectives, too, continue to make progress in the tragic shooting death of Gabriella Hanley that occurred over 10 days ago. Through numerous interviews, they have identified 3 persons of interest in the investigation, 2 adults and 1 juvenile. They're asking anyone who has seen the 2 individuals with 2021 silver Nissan Altima or know the whereabouts of the 2 individuals to call Detective Richard Giacone at 772-807-4401. They're not considered suspects, and there are currently no criminal charges filed against them. The Nissan Altima has not been located, but it is believed the vehicle was rented between October 4th of 2021 through October 7th of 2021. Lastly, the Children's Museum of the Treasure Coast is holding Glitter and Glam Gala to raise money for its educational exhibits and scholarship programs. The museum has 3 wings with 30 interactive exhibits. They include a full grocery store, a shooting cannon on a massive pirate ship, and a giant game of Operation. The Jensen Beach Museum encourages hands-on educational play that steps back from technology. WPTV News Channel 5's Ashley Walters will serve as the master of ceremonies for the museum's upcoming Glitter and Glam Gala, which provides funding for exhibits and classroom learning opportunities and scholarships. The gala will be held Saturday, November 6th at Harbor Ridge Yacht and Country Club with a jungle safari theme. Well, the rundown from the NFL scoring last night, we had Tampa Bay beating Philadelphia. That score was 28-22. Jacksonville over Miami. I know so many Miami fans upset over this one this morning. 23-20 in that game. Green Bay 24-13 over the Bears. Cincinnati 34-11 over Detroit. Houston losing hard to the Colts 31-3. The Rams beat the Giants hard, too. That score was 38-11. Vikings over Carolina, 34-28. Los Angeles loses to Baltimore, 34-6 yesterday. 37-14, Baltimore over Cleveland. Pittsburgh beat Seattle, a close one there, too, 23-20. News time is 6:30 with weather and traffic together next.
.30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie has a first look outside on the highways and byways.
Well, Evan, we're not finding any accidents to report. However, there is some construction on the turnpike to the north of us. So the turnpike southbound in the Port St. Lucie area right around mile markers 137 through 141. The left lane is closed this morning for road construction in that area of the Turnpike southbound in Port St. Lucie. Use some caution. And there's your latest look at traffic. 75 in Stewart and in Norcross, Georgia. It's a cool 45. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as you're waking up along the Treasure Coast. The humidity has gone down a little bit more, so it feels much more comfortable out there for your Monday morning. This afternoon, highs in the mid-80s, low humidity, mostly sunny and breezy conditions at times. The pleasant weather continues through the middle of the work week. Highs in the mid-80s, mainly dry with mostly sunny skies and breezy winds. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
At first, I thought I just loved fall like everyone else. But then one day, I let my daughter walk home in the pouring rain. I could have been on time, but I stopped for another pumpkin spice latte.
We were having dinner with friends, and I got blackout drunk on pumpkin ale. My wife told me that I tried to romance a bowl of pumpkin risotto. She'll never unsee that.
These are real stories from real addicts. That's why we at Pfizer have stopped working on COVID to develop the Pumpkin Patch, a convenient, discreet, wearable step-down treatment to stop the cravings threatening pumpkin addicts and their families. Good people with a bad habit who just needed a little help to get their lives back.
I'm not late for the bus anymore.
We're starting to use our real names again, and it feels pretty good.
The Pumpkin Patch is not covered by insurance, but at $9.50, it's still cheaper than a latte. The Pumpkin Patch from Pfizer. We're more than just COVID and boners.
Well, there you go. The solution for people that are pumpkin addicts.
Yeah, it is.
Called the Pumpkin Patch.
Makes you want to go to the pumpkin patch, doesn't it, Evan?
It sure does. It sure
Get
does.
lost in the pumpkins.
Lost in the pumpkins, as they say. It's the all-new Pumpkin Patch, and it's only $9.95.
$9.95, that magical price tag, right? Why does that seem to be that magical price of everything?
I don't know.
That comes your way that they want to sell you on TV for only $9.95.
$9.95. That's all it is. $9.95. We'll give it to you. $9.95. So I could tell you something that doesn't cost anything, and that's viral videos. So in Northern California, my voice just cracked there.
You pulled a
Sorry, puberty
Bobby
setting in.
Brady.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it was Peter Brady
Yeah,
that was
whoever it is.
losing his voice on the Brady Bunch that one time.
Puberty at 61, not too bad.
Yeah.
A Northern California woman saw a rattlesnake crawl under her house, so she called the county reptile rescue.
Oh my gosh, a rattlesnake.
They sent the Rattlesnake Ranger, is what he's called.
They have a Rattlesnake Ranger
Rattlesnake
there?
Ranger.
What kind of town is that where you need a Rattlesnake Ranger?
Well, this guy found 92 rattlesnakes under the house. Listen to the audio from the video.
So I get on my hands and knees. I'm not even in there a minute before I find the first rattlesnake. Total of 92 rattlesnakes underneath her house. I was tickled pink. I wish that happened every day to me. The drought will cause them to go to areas where you water and take care of things. They're going to be looking for lizards and rodents. Give me 300. As long as I got enough containers to put them in and come back enough, I'll do it all day long.
You hear that little rattle at the very end there? Right?
I sure did.
He's known as the Rattlesnake Ranger.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And he found 92 of them under a lady's house.
92 of them bad boys.
Wow.
Yes.
How would you like to live above that many rattlesnakes, Evan?
I think there was a bunch of babies down there rattling away with their rattles.
Wow.
Yeah, 92 rattlesnakes.
Ooh.
That wouldn't cut it.
That's a creepy story, know, which reminds me, we've been bringing up pumpkins and all. It was not too long ago that I read a story somewhere up north, I guess. They're having like a rat problem, and they're saying not to leave your Halloween pumpkins outside. Don't leave the pumpkin out to rot because they're just...
well, that'll bring rodents anywhere you live. Yeah.
And the rats just want to come to it. And then... especially like at your house, you don't want a rat to come and then have baby rats.
Now, here's an idea. What you could do is, since you're never going to eat that pumpkin, you get a can of bug spray and you spray pesticide all inside the pumpkin.
Oh, wow.
So if the rat or a bug goes and eats the pumpkin, it's going to die.
Yeah.
From the pesticide. So that'll keep them away, hopefully.
That's a good plan.
I just thought it off the top of my head.
Yeah. You're taking total precaution.
Yeah.
And that's all
definitely
right.
So this past Friday near Thackerville, Oklahoma, somebody filmed an Amtrak train plowing through a car hauler semi-truck that was stalled on the tracks. Bonnie, I don't know if you've seen this or not. But luckily, the driver and the dog were only shaken up a little bit of the car hauler. So you've seen those large car haulers that have like on the top and the middle and the lower. Okay, so here's a video. Okay, the audio, you just have to listen to this. Let me maximize this so you can see it. Okay, so right here, Bonnie, is where I'm circling with the mouse. That's the rig stuck on the tracks. All right, listen. Watch this. Here comes the train. Whoa. Is that intense or what?
Blasted it. Was the driver inside the vehicle when
Yes.
And they said that the guy inside survived?
The guy and the dog escaped with minor injuries. They were just shaken up.
How does anybody survive that sort of thing? It looks like the pellet of the train might have hit that just so it missed. So it got the front end of the vehicle and kind of pushed it back in midair.
I don't know. I think what happened was the cab, from what I understand, the cab of the 18-wheel transport was on the other side of the tracks. Then the body, the trailer side, was what was stuck on the tracks.
Oh, okay.
So when the train crashed into it, you saw all the vehicles, they just went
Just kind of
flying.
split it right in two.
Yeah,
with the
it was
cab area being kind
yeah.
of safe.
Yeah.
Where
Now, had the cab been stuck on the tracks,
yeah,
it may not have been as fortunate.
he and his little doggy would
Yeah.
have been. Ooh, they would
Yeah.
have gone bye-bye.
Yeah. So, like I was telling you earlier in the opening segment, we were having a conversation. Saturday, you know, we're sitting around not doing nothing at all, and it was like a lazy Saturday for me. Just no motivation to do nothing. So I cleaned out the garage and stuff like that. So then I'm sitting around and it's 5:00, 5:00 somewhere, and I'm watching TV and for some reason I got on my Texas Roadhouse app.
Oh, I've never been there. I've never
Okay.
been to the Roadhouse.
So I got on the app and it said get in line. So you can put your name on the wait list ahead of time before you arrive there. So when you get there, you just type in the word here and they check you in, and within like 2 minutes you're taken right to your table.
And
So you
this
don't have to
is
wait.
Saturday night,
This is
usually when
Saturday.
you are waiting.
Yeah, this is Saturday, 5:00. So I'm just sitting around. I'm just in my shorts and nothing else. And Rachel's in her home attire. And I look at her and I'm like, hey, go get dressed. We're going to Texas Roadhouse. We're
Right
leaving in 2
on.
minutes. Just like that. It was
2
just like a
minutes.
whim.
But didn't she have to get ready and do her hair and her makeup and all that?
No, she doesn't wear makeup.
Yeah.
She just pulled her hair up in a ponytail,
Yeah.
threw on a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and sandals.
Just ready to go.
And I quickly got dressed and we went. We got there, checked in, and within 2 minutes we sat down. We had the best waitress that money could buy.
Really?
She got a fantastic tip from Rachel and I.
This was out in St. Lucie West
Yes.
area?
This girl, to find out, I don't remember what her name was, but this girl, to find out, has worked there for 15 years for Texas Roadhouse for the chain.
Nice.
And
nice.
she's a floor manager, but she was waitressing that night.
Okay.
And eventually she's in the management trainee program. So she's going to be training to become a general manager. But just the service was unbelievable. Like every 5 minutes she was checking on our drinks and making sure that this was good and that was good and this was good and that was good. I mean, wow.
I bet she was making some massive tip money that
I
night.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And I asked her a question. I said, now, in your years of waitressing, how do you deal with people that you give such exceptional 5-star service to, like you did with us? How do you deal with people that don't tip you at all? And she looked at us and she said, you just got to learn to understand it. We work for our money, and when you're waiting tables, you're only making $6 and change an hour plus your tips.
Mhm.
So you rely on those tips. So and it's very valuable. And a lot of people will go out to dinner and they just don't tip, and they get great service.
Did you ask her how many do not tip? Could she do a 1 out of 10, a 2 out of 10, a 20%?
I didn't ask her that, but
Yeah.
she did say she does see it frequently. She does.
I hope it doesn't come too often her way.
No.
If she works hard and
No.
she deserves that good tip money.
And she's she was a really hard worker.
Yeah.
And I mean, she was busting her butt and just, man, my hat goes off to her. I mean, if you're looking for the epitome of what customer service is and waitressing, that was it right there. Tenfold. I mean, my bill was only $38.
Right.
So we usually
That's really not bad.
No, $38 for the both of us.
Yeah, that's
2
not bad
main
at all.
courses. I had the New York strip with a sweet potato and some steamed broccoli. And get this, I don't like my broccoli crunchy. I'm very particular about my broccoli. I like it to be like really soft.
So did they serve it that way?
What she did was, and I told her that, she goes, I will make sure that they steam your broccoli twice as much opposed to one time.
She went that extra effort.
She actually went into the kitchen to make sure the broccoli came out
Yes.
with the food, and she says, please let me know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute I bit into one of the florets,
Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect.
Well, you know what? She understands what TIPS stands for then.
Yeah.
TIPS to ensure proper service.
Yeah, exactly.
So in that line, in that spirit of what she did, she gave you proper service. So
Yeah.
she knows that when you come in the next time,
Yeah.
that you will tip her well again
Yeah.
for her proper service.
Yeah, we used to have a guy like that at Thirsty Turtle when we used to go every week when we first moved up here.
Oh, there's a guy over there at the Thirsty Turtle that we love. I think his name might be Ryan,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. He is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we would go in with a party of, lately we've gone in with a party of like 8 people or more. And he right away remembers what I drink.
Yeah.
You know,
That's really good.
He'll remember what Jaden drinks.
Yeah, that's really, really good. But, you know, Rach and I, we're a firm believer, 20% minimum. We don't go by, the only time you're going to get 15% is if the service stinks.
Yeah, we go by that too.
I'll go by
we
the
go
minimum.
By the 20%.
But otherwise, we do 20% because we know how hard they work.
Or we'll do even a little more.
Yeah.
If,
So on like a $38 bill
really
to round it off to $40, 20% is $8. So we went above the 20%
Why,
and
of
we
course,
basically
right?
left a 50% tip.
Yeah,
And she just looked like, wow, thank you.
that's terrific.
And that really meant a lot to her.
And she's going to take care of you both the next time that you come in.
Oh, yeah,
she's
definitely.
going to remember how
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
You'll
But
probably be like the first ones to come to the table.
Yeah.
Like, and sit right over here at the very best one.
yeah, but definitely if and like Bonnie is saying, you know, if you go out to eat and you know, your servers are very crucial. You know, they work hard for their tips. Leave them a nice tip.
They do.
You know,
I even mentioned to you last week when
Yeah.
I went to Maya's, that Mexican restaurant
Yeah.
in Palm City.
Yeah.
Actually, the girls at the front desk who were just taking orders, given orders to go, they were running. They were working so hard.
Yeah.
And she gave me my food, this girl that had waited on me. And, you know, granted, I had not sat down. She wasn't my waitress, but she was like at the front desk.
Yeah.
I went out to my car. I came back from my car. I thought she deserves a tip. So I gave her some money.
And that's another place that's hiring too. They're looking for help there at Texas Roadhouse. Part of the requirements, though, you have to be able to dance because they do perform there. They do perform every like 15 minutes. They do like a line dance.
Cool.
Everything stops and they're all dancing around and stuff
Do
like
they
that.
make you get up and dance
No,
too if you're
you
eating?
can if you want.
If you want to.
You can. They just do one song. But now when they do the birthday thing, they wheel over this saddle and you have to sit in the saddle. And you're like the center of attention and everybody sings happy birthday to you.
Nice.
So it's really cool. A lot of fun. Good place. Really, really great food too. 6:49 news time. Once again, it's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deals in town. On precious metals, it's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Here's Bonnie with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Port St. Lucie police detectives continue to make progress in the tragic shooting death of Gabriella Hanley that occurred over 10 days ago. Through numerous interviews, they have identified 3 persons of interest in the investigation, 2 adults, 1 juvenile. They're asking anyone who has seen the 2 individuals with a 2019-2021 silver Nissan Altima or know the whereabouts of the 2 individuals to call Detective Richard Giacone at 772-807-4401. They are not considered suspects and there are currently no criminal charges filed against them. The Nissan Altima has not been located, but it's believed the vehicle was rented between October 4th through October 7, 2021. The family of Mia Marcano demanding accountability from the Orange County Sheriff's Office in the 19-year-old's abduction and murder.
In these type of investigations, every second matters. And the time that they need it, they just basically drop the ball.
Marcano family attorney Daryl Washington is calling for the termination of a deputy for not detaining the only person of interest. That's Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the apartment complex where Marcano lived. He killed himself days after Marcano went missing. Fort Pierce Police Department officers responded to the 1300 block of Avenue J at 9 p.m. in reference to a shooting. According to police, multiple unknown suspects drove to the victim's house and fired several shots, striking 2 adult victims. They were both transported to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Both suspects fled the scene after the shooting. During the shooting, police say a child was also in the area and was taken to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center for precautionary reasons. According to police, during the investigation, officers found many firearms and illicit narcotics inside one of the victims' homes. The investigation continues, and police are looking for a newer model Jeep white with a black roof. If you can identify the suspects or have other information about the crime, please call Detective Charles Montano at 518-774-1151 or call Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers at 800-273-8477, and you can remain anonymous. Well, lastly, a long-running entertainment complex in Martin County is closing. The 76 Golf World Family Fun Center on Canner Highway in Stewart announced Wednesday online its last day of operation will be November 7. After close to 32 years in business, the owner has decided to retire, according to its website. We want to thank everyone that has supported us throughout the years, and we hope we gave you all a lot of cherished memories. It's been fun. According to a post signed by Steve Coy on 76 Golf World's Facebook page, the property hasn't been sold yet. The owner and I think it's time, according to the post. The 76 Golf World Family Fun Center is the only golf entertainment facility in the county. It has 2 18-hole mini golf courses, go-karts for kids and adults, a driving range, batting cages, an arcade, bumper cars, jump shot basketball, and kiddie bumper boats. The Atlanta Braves took Game 1 of the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers again. Atlanta scraped by with a 3-2 victory after third baseman's Austin Riley walk-off single gave second baseman Ozzie Albies room to run home in the bottom of the ninth. Earlier in the evening, Riley walloped a solo homer in the bottom of the fourth, tying the game at 2. But Riley wasn't the only Atlanta star. Pitcher Max Fried made Major League Baseball history Saturday night as he threw 23 consecutive strikeouts against the Dodgers, becoming the first player to do so in a playoff game over the last 20 seasons. News time at 6:53. We have weather and traffic together coming up.
$6:55 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
Well, we have some road construction on the turnpike this morning. This is southbound in Port St. Lucie between mile markers 141 and 137. Southbound turnpike. The left lane is closed for some road construction, so might see a little bit of slowdown this morning in that area. Drive cautiously. And there's your latest look at traffic. 69 degrees in Port St. Lucie this morning, and in Oulu, Finland, it's a partly cloudy, cool 38. Here's our weather from WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as you're waking up along the Treasure Coast. The humidity has gone down a little bit more, so it feels much more comfortable out there for your Monday morning. This afternoon, highs in the mid-80s, low humidity, mostly sunny and breezy conditions at times. The pleasant weather continues through the middle of the work week. Highs in the mid-80s, mainly dry with mostly sunny skies and breezy winds. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Announcer. Greatly appreciate your lovely voice.
Imagine a cooking show with puppets, and you'll have the wrong idea.
Well, I don't know if I could imagine a cooking show with puppets or not.
Is that apple pie I smell?
Yes, it's apple pie you smell.
I need coffee. Extra strong.
Well, somebody needs coffee. I need coffee. You need coffee. We all need coffee. Time now is 7:07 this morning. Mr. Clock, would you certify the time?
It's now 7:07 a.m.
Bonnie, are you one of those type of people that if you don't get your coffee in the morning, it just everything's just going to hell in a handbag?
Yeah, I don't feel very balanced if
No.
I don't get the coffee. And even on Saturday morning, right before I run, I drink at least maybe a quarter or a half a cup of coffee.
I thought you were going to say a quart. That's an awful lot.
That would get my heart racing for sure as I was running.
That's brutal. So the wife has been trying the different coffees. She's going to call in a little bit this morning and report back to you because you guys are the coffee connoisseurs of the show.
Can't wait to hear on that new coffee flavor that she's trying.
I don't know, but she just loves that thing, man. It's like she fires that bad boy up and it just does what it needs to do.
There is nothing like a brand new Keurig. And, I got to get mine up on the cupboard from underneath the cupboard. I've had it down there for so long. But usually lately I've just been kind of like taking it out on holidays when we have company.
That's it?
Yeah. But
wow.
And I don't know. I've been being kind of cheap. I haven't been buying the pods.
Don't say cheap.
I've been being a little cheap. I've been buying. Well, I like to buy that Folgers.
Okay.
And
it's Folgers in your cup.
I get my manual pot of coffee out in the morning. And you know what I do to save time in the morning? I have it ready to go. I've got my coffee grounds already in the coffee filter. I've got the pot full of water, and I just get up, plug it in, and click on a button in the morning.
And away you go.
And saves time.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. I know what doesn't save time, but we love to do because we like to kill time with this.
News on the radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And of course, it's time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And of course, we always start with you, Miss Bonnie. So what do you have this morning?
Just, I guess, happy birthday if you're celebrating on this October 18th.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Happy birthday if you're in celebration.
Okay, then.
And, I don't know how much of a celebration mode you can be in for a Monday because it is Monday morning, when you might have the blues, but
this is true.
Happy birthday if you're celebrating.
Happy birthday if you have a birthday that you're celebrating. So with that said, I forgot to click a button this morning. That gets me to my birthday page. So I'm a little behind. So here we go. All right. Chuck Berry. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. Mr. Johnny B. Good.
Celebrating in the heavens.
Yes, passed away in 2017. That was at the top of the list this morning.
Oh, he didn't pass away not too long ago.
No, 4 years ago. Tyler Posey, 30 years old today. That's Scott McCall and MTV's Teen Wolf. Zac Efron and his six-pack of abs are 34 years old today. You like that?
Yeah.
Zac Efron and his six-pack of abs. I wouldn't know because I don't look at Zac Efron and his six-pack of abs.
He really does have some six-pack abs, and
he does. Oh, why are you showing me a picture?
Kind of like he's a neat-looking fella.
He's a good-looking guy. I just don't want to look at his abs this morning.
I think he was in a story that I watched not too long ago about Ted Bundy.
Oh.
I think he portrayed a Ted Bundy in one of the mini productions because so many people have played him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Interesting. Frida Pinto is 37. That's the gorgeous Slumdog Millionaire star. Lindsey Vonn, 37 years old today. You know who she is?
Lindsey Vonn. I think
Does that ring a bell?
She's a dancer from Dancing with the Stars.
I don't know, but she dated Tiger Woods.
Oh, she did.
But then she thought better of it. The R&B singer Neo.
Oh, wait a minute. You know who Lindsey Vonn is?
Who
I
is
think
she?
she's a skier.
Oh.
I think she's a famous downhill Olympic skier.
Okay. It's a
Actually,
VONN,
yeah,
just so you
American
know.
alpine ski racer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there she is. A pretty lady, long
Okay.
blonde hair.
Now,
And,
that you could show me a picture
and
of.
you're right, she did date Tiger Woods a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They were sloping together. Get it? Sloping?
Yeah.
Not sleeping, but sloping together.
Sloping.
Neo, R&B singer. He's either 39 or 42. It doesn't really say. They can't figure it out.
Why can't they figure it out?
I don't know. I'm just going with what I'm reading
And
here.
what were the ages they produced
It
there?
says Neo is either 39 or 42.
39 or okay, so that's a 3-year difference.
Yeah.
I wonder why they can't figure out.
Listen, right to the people that write this stuff, okay?
He is one not to reveal his true
No,
age.
I just read it as I see it.
Of course, I'm not one to reveal my true age.
I know,
either.
and you know what? And that's the one thing I don't do is I do not bust your stones about your age.
I know, and if you look at my age on Facebook,
It's not there.
I might be 8 years older or 8 years younger than I really am of what I have.
I do not. It's one thing I do not do is I do not bust your stones about your age. As far as I'm concerned, when we talk about your age, I always say you're in your 30s,
Yeah,
and I just leave it at that.
Never ask a lady her age
Nope.
or her weight.
Nope. And we know you weigh 98 pounds soaking wet,
Oh,
and we'll leave
gosh.
it at that too as well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like 10
Nick-
years ago.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is 61 years old today.
Now there's a name we know. We all know.
Yep. I'm sure he's got a six-pack of abs.
How old is he? 61?
61.
No kidding.
How about Martina Navratilova? Say that 10 times fast.
No, I can't even say it once.
5 years old today.
Yep. Tennis
She's one
player.
of the best tennis players of all time.
One of the very best.
Yes. Chuck Lorre is 69 years old. He's the creator of 2.5 Men. Pam Dauber is 70. That's Mindy on Mork and Mindy.
And you know who she's married to? She's married to Mark Harmon,
Mm.
and who has also played like Zac Efron.
Mhm.
He played Ted Bundy too, and it was called The Deliberate Stranger.
Mhm.
But you know, Pam Dauber,
Mhm.
I picture her as Mindy, so I can't even fathom her being
Mhm.
70.
You know what amazes me? You're supposed to say what amazes
What
you.
amazes
All right,
you?
let's try this one again.
Okay.
Bonnie,
I had
you
a
know what?
blank.
That's okay. Bonnie, you know what amazes me?
What amazes you, Evan?
Amazes me that how much knowledge you have of all these different things when I talk about them.
Oh,
Like,
some of
like,
them.
like one of them, for instance, you just brought up about Mark Harmon and NCIS.
Yeah.
And over the almost 2 years I've been doing the show with you, your vast, it blows me away, your vast amount of knowledge.
But then some of these
things.
people I don't even know
Well,
who
same
they are.
here.
So.
But I couldn't even. I'm amazed at how you know half this stuff.
Now, if we brought up something like, say, from the Hallmark Channel,
Yeah.
I would probably know nil. I would know nothing. Half of the reality shows that you know about,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't know,
Yeah.
like, hardly anything about.
Mhm.
But we had that lady in. Who had the lady in that? Oh, that was Denny Artachi last
Yeah, I
week.
had the lady in who produced and casted for a lot of the reality shows.
And when she was talking about extreme makeover,
Mhm.
I thought she was talking about the makeover of houses,
Mhm.
like refurbishing homes.
Mhm. That's what I thought too, but it wasn't.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I had the same thought as you,
Okay.
but it wasn't.
It was
What
actually
was the other extreme
redoing
makeover?
your
body,
image,
everything,
your body image,
everything.
and
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Wasn't
Mhm.
there an extreme makeover too with homes?
Yes, it was with
think-
Ty Pennington.
Pennington
Yes.
it was.
And his famous line was, "Move that bus."
Was
Move
it?
that bus.
See, now-
People would go away for a week.
Yeah.
And when they would come back, their home is completely redone and
Oh.
rebuilt in 1 week's time.
I want to be on that reality show
Yeah.
with my home.
I don't know if I'd want mine knocked down and rebuilt again.
Maybe not knocked down, but we could definitely do some
Yeah.
improving on the inside.
Yeah, Rach and I had a conversation. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. We had a conversation about that. If we would redo what we did and know what we know now, when we built our home 13 years ago, there's a few things we would do a little differently. But back then, we didn't know, we didn't know anything. We're first time new home buyers. We only owned a townhouse down in Lake Worthless. Notice the way I said that.
You didn't like it there?
Nah, I didn't like it down there.
Too busy down there, isn't it?
We lived in a little town called Green Acres, and now it's just it's gone to heck in a handbag.
Yeah.
It really has.
It's it's overpopulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're real happy where we live.
Oh yeah.
Mike Ditka is 82 years old today. That's the NFL Hall of Fame coach. Dawn Wells would have been 83 years old today. She passed away a year ago. She was Marianne on Gilligan's Island.
Marianne, oh, she was such a doll.
Yeah.
I always thought she was such a doll face too.
And with Dawn's passing, now that makes Ginger the sole surviving castaway of Gilligan's Island.
So we don't have Gilligan anymore?
Nope.
Did Bob Denver pass
Yep.
too?
Oh, yes. Bob Denver's gone. Yep, they're all gone.
I don't know why I don't remember the
Mhm.
skipper.
Yeah.
He really.
You need me to get the Gilligan's Island music out for you?
Ah.
If you want, I can bring that out for you real quick.
I just don't remember.
That's easy
of,
to do.
Their passing, like with the skipper, and
Mhm.
I know the professor has been
Mhm.
gone a while.
Mhm. Oh, Bonnie, today you're going to love today when I start reading what today is around the world. I'm going to save this one for last because I know you're going to drool on this one. Okay. It's first of all, it's National Healthcare Aid Day. Healthcare Aid Day was created by the government of Manitoba, Canada to honor healthcare aides. It's also National No Beard Day. Going clean shaven could give you a totally new outlook in life.
Mm-hmm. Get
So-
that nice clean shaved look.
Shave that beard off. It's also National World Menopause Day. Gear up to spread awareness about a condition that affects all women. All women.
There's no escaping it.
No escaping it at all.
Wow.
And lastly, it's National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Ah, yeah.
Bonnie, look at the picture that they put on my computer for National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Wow, that looks.
Is that like decadence right there?
That's one delicious looking cupcake.
That's 500 calories right there.
Isn't that something? Can you imagine?
Mhm.
Sometimes too, I'll go into Publix and I'll look at some of the delicious cupcakes that they make,
Mhm.
and I read the calorie count because they do print that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, do I dare?
Uh-huh.
But sometimes, when you're looking at that, you should dare because you can take it home and just do like Dr. Tread says and take a small portion of it.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean you have to eat the whole darn cupcake.
Mhm.
So indulge.
It's
I saw
yeah.
some good ones at Winn-Dixie
Did
last
you really?
night too. They had like a caramel swirl in it with a little bit of chocolate like in the middle.
Mhm.
Oh man, did they look? Oh, they looked so good.
Oh, I bet. I bet. It's yeah, chocolate cupcakes. That's one of my weaknesses is just chocolate in general.
Yeah.
So
Cake. Do you like chocolate cake?
yes.
See, I'm
Oh
not
my
a big
God.
fan of the cake alone, but I saw the frosting on that cupcake you just showed me.
Mhm.
I would love to dip my finger in the middle of
I'm
that.
sure you would. I'm sure you
Just
would.
take all that icing right off.
Now here's something to think about.
Yeah.
Freshly baked chocolate cake with chocolate frosting, and in the middle, instead of a whipped cream, how about a raspberry or strawberry filling?
Oh, yeah.
Does that not
That's-
set you back and just make you want to just like start drooling and frothing at the mouth? Like,
Yeah. It reminds
oh yeah.
It reminds me of a cake my mother used to make. I think it was a chocolate cherry cake where it was chocolate cake. She had cherries actually in it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Rich. It was
Oh.
very rich.
Man, I'm just getting fat sitting here thinking about this right now. That's just decadence.
We have this ice cream at home too,
Oh
Evan.
no, you had to go there, didn't
Reese's,
you?
Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream.
Well, you could keep that on your side of the table.
I mean, there are actually peanut butter cups in this ice
Mhm.
cream that we got. I think it's Breyers, the
Mhm.
Breyers brand.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Wow, it's just like it, and,
We-
they're not lying. These are real big peanut butter cups. In
You
the
do
ice cream.
realize that you are really torturing all the listeners
Oh.
right now because they're all waking up
Yeah.
and they haven't even eaten breakfast yet.
No.
They're on the road driving. Palm City Charlie is probably like, Bonnie, why are you doing this to me this early?
Well, the donut shops might be happy because these
Yeah.
people driving out might go get
That's
something
true.
sweet like donuts.
That's true. That's true. 7:22 right now on the Get Up and Go show for a Monday morning with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. So without further ado, let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A notorious Haitian gang known for brazen kidnappings and killings was accused by police Sunday of abducting 17 missionaries from a U.S.-based organization. 5 children were believed to be among those kidnapped. The 400 Mawazo gang kidnapped the group in Ganthiar, a community that lies east of the capital of Port-au-Prince. Haitian Police Inspector Franz Champagne told the Associated Press the gang was blamed for kidnapping 5 priests and 2 nuns earlier this year in Haiti. The gang, whose name roughly translates to 400 inexperienced men, controls the Croix de Bouquet area that includes Ganthier, where they carry out kidnappings and carjackings and extort business owners, according to authorities. Ohio-based Christian Aid Ministry said the kidnapped group consisted of 16 U.S. citizens and 1 Canadian, for a total of 5 children, 7 women, and 5 men. The organization said they were on a trip to visit an orphanage. The FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products. Here's more on that story.
First time in history, the FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products, the View Solo device and the pods used with it. The agency says the company that makes the View Solo gave them data that shows it can actually be helpful to cigarette smokers. In an email to me, the FDA said the potential benefit to smokers who switch completely or significantly reduce their cigarette use would outweigh the risk to youth.
The FDA is saying that this particular product is appropriate for the protection of public health.
That's American Vaping Association President Gregory Conley. He says electronic cigarettes, which have been sold in the U.S. since 2006, are an important step in the fight to help smokers quit tobacco cigarettes. But last year, the FDA also took steps to keep vape products out of kids' hands, sending warning letters to 10 companies telling them to pull their flavored e-cigarette and e-liquid products because they appeal to young people.
Inhaling anything directly into the lungs is not a good idea.
Hasmina Kathuria is an associate professor of medicine at Boston University and the director of the Tobacco Treatment Center. She says she's glad the FDA is acting on its promise to regulate these products, but the U.S. Surgeon General's office says since 2014, e-cigarettes have been the most commonly used tobacco product by American kids, and Hasmina says that's concerning.
We think all e-cigarettes should not be allowed on the market because of one, the youth epidemic of nicotine addiction. 2, we know that there's FDA approved medications for smoking cessation that are regulated, that we know are safe, that we know that they're effective.
We know e-cigarettes aren't leaving the market anytime soon. We also know the FDA will make these authorizations and marketing decisions on a case-by-case basis. The agency told me it hopes to get to a place where every vape product is appropriate for the protection of the public health. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
They're back. E-scooters have returned to Fort Pierce for at least the next 3 years. Spin, a micromobility company headquartered in San Francisco, is launching October 16 a fleet of 200 e-scooters downtown on Hutchinson Island and throughout the city as part of the new e-scooter share program, according to a city news release. The number of electric scooters may change based on demand. E-scooters are now available for rent from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily at locations throughout the city. The company now has slow zones, no parking zones, and no ride zones based on findings from the city's previous pilot program. Fort Pierce was Spin's first e-scooter program in Florida. The company, which operated locally through Boston-based Zagster, a company which ended operations in 2020, launched the 1-year e-scooter share pilot program in September 2019 with 150 e-scooters. Former President Bill Clinton was released from a California hospital Sunday after spending 6 days receiving treatment for an infection. Dr. Elfish Amin, chair of UC Irvine's Hospital of Medicine, said in a statement that Clinton's fever and white blood cell count had normalized and he would return home to New York to finish his course of antibiotics. Clinton, age 75, had been in California for a private event for his foundation and had been feeling fatigued on Tuesday when he was admitted to the hospital for testing. His doctor said he was diagnosed with a urinary tract infection that spread into his bloodstream. U.S. Congresswoman from Florida wants the government to return her money. Corrine Brown filed a petition on Friday to be reimbursed over $40,000, which the government seized during her 2017 corruption trial. Brown's conviction was reversed in May of this year by an appeals court. A Polk County man is dead after an apparent drowning in Seminole County. The Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says divers found the body of 34-year-old Nicholas Bullock yesterday morning in Lake Monroe. Bullock was apparently boating on Saturday when he wound up in the water and was never seen again. And lastly, Ronnie Tutt, the famed drummer for Elvis Presley, who also played with Elvis Costello, Johnny Cash, and many others, has died, his family said. He was 83. Terry Tutt confirmed via Facebook Sunday that her father had died at his home surrounded by his family. Tutt's wife, Donna Tutt, told TMZ that her husband died from natural causes Saturday at their Franklin, Tennessee home. Anyone who still thinks Aaron Rodgers has lost his passion for the game probably didn't watch the Packers-Bears game at Soldier Field yesterday. Oh boy. The Pack won it 24-14, and Aaron sealed the win with a rushing touchdown in the final minutes. Rodgers got knocked down as he crossed the goal line, but he jumped right back up and talked smack to the Chicago fans. He said, quote, "I've owned you all my swear word life. I still own you. I still own you." Rodgers has a career record of 21-5 against the Bears. A great record, but true. But watch your language, Aaron. There are kids watching the game. News time at 7:29, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Let's have another look outside. Here's Bonnie.
Well, just be aware of the construction happening on the turnpike in the Port St. Lucie area this morning. Southbound between mile markers 141 and 137. The left lane is closed due to road construction. And if you see something, say something. Let us know. Give us a shout out at 220-9788 at 220-WSTU. And it's 75 this morning here in Stewart, and in Thackerville, Oklahoma, it's a clear sky, 45 degrees. Here's our weather from WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as you're waking up along the Treasure Coast. The humidity has gone down a little bit more, so it feels much more comfortable out there for your Monday morning. This afternoon, highs in the mid-80s, low humidity, mostly sunny and breezy conditions at times. The pleasant weather continues through the middle of the work week. Highs in the mid-80s, mainly dry with mostly sunny skies and breezy winds.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
radio show on the biggest little planet, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie.
This is not headline news. Vince Neil broke his ribs after falling off stage during a concert. He was very upset because he hadn't finished eating them yet. At 95, Tony Bennett set a record as the oldest person to release an album of new material, at least until this spring when Betty White's Trap album comes out. Coldplay's new tour will be powered by fans through a rigged dance floor and stationary bikes. So it'll be like going to the gym, right down to the crappy music. In sports, the Jacksonville Jaguars finally won their first game of the season. A nice change to see head coach Urban Meyer on camera using his hand to high-five players instead of patting a young woman's backside. This is not headline news.
From not headline news to the stupid stuff.
And now it's time for Stupid News.
It's so stupid and awesome.
Where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one about Urban Meyer, I have to say. Let me see here. A 29-year-old guy named Andrew Emery carjacked a woman early yesterday morning in downtown Hotlanta, otherwise known as Atlanta, while armed with a bow and arrow. Yes, a bow and arrow, Bonnie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first he tried to steal a security guard's car.
With a bow and arrow?
But he failed.
At bow and arrow point?
Yeah. So he moved on to an easier target and literally used it as a target. A woman was sitting in her car when Andrew fired an arrow into her windshield.
Cupid, won't you draw back your bow?
Yes. He also threw a fire extinguisher at the lady's car, and she eventually just let him take it. But he didn't make it very far and crashed into an overpass less than an hour later.
Serves him right.
Now, when the police showed up, they expected to find a crash victim who needed help, but he wouldn't get out and threatened them with a compound bow he still had with him.
Wow.
So
he was okay in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Even though it crashed.
Yeah. But now there was a short standoff that lasted about 20 minutes. It eventually ended when Andrew aimed the bow and arrow at one of the police officers. They gave multiple verbal warnings to drop it, but he didn't.
Did the police officer put an apple upon his head?
No.
And say, try to hit this target?
Nope.
No.
So one of the officers fired a single shot and hit the guy, but it didn't kill him.
Wow.
They treated him at the scene.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, they treated him at the scene, got him to the hospital where he was listed in stable condition. It turned out that he may have also tried to carjack a third person earlier that morning as well.
My, oh my.
And when he was released from the hospital, they charged him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a busy day there.
Illegal use of bow and arrow.
Wow.
Let's go to Etna, Maine.
Etna, I'm glad I met you.
Etna, Maine, where 33-year-old Kayla Blake wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend. Nothing wrong with that at all, except for how she went about it, Bonnie. She was arrested after she directed 2 separate bomb threats at Puritan Medical Products, where he worked, forcing evacuations and disrupting their manufacturing operations.
So she did that to get him out of the building?
Yes.
So she could see him?
Uh-huh. She wanted to spend more time with him.
Oh my
State
gosh.
police, they traced the call to Etna, and the deputies found Blake after interviewing people in her neighborhood.
Etna, wish I never met you.
Yeah, that's it. She was charged with felony count of terrorizing and taken to the Somerset County Jail.
Yeah, right.
All because she wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend.
Boy, people just get desperate and they come up with some creative ways, don't they?
Yep. We've heard of dwarf tossing. We've talked about that before. Quite a while back.
That's just not right.
Well, now there's something else out. It's called groom tossing.
Groom tossing.
Yes, 31-year-old Levu Filmon was enjoying his wedding party in Balafelix, northwestern Romania, when some of his friends decided that it was time to celebrate Lavu's union with his new bride by throwing him up into the air.
Okay.
Now, it's a common way to celebrate the custom all over the world.
Mhm.
But in order to avoid tragedy, it's key that the person being tossed into the air also be caught on the way down.
Or have something soft to land on,
Yeah.
right?
Well, sadly, the second part didn't go according to the plan.
Oh my.
And the young groom wound up in the hospital with multiple spine fractures because
that's
nobody caught him.
Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Nobody caught him.
How bad it is to screw up your back at your
Oh,
wedding.
yeah.
And this groom is probably so young
All
over there.
All because of a tradition in their country
Have you
called
ever
groom tossing.
Witnessed that? Have you ever witnessed that at the weddings you've been to? Do we groom toss over here?
I can say I have done Jewish weddings where they do what's called the hora. The hora is a customary song. It's Hava Nagila is what the name of it is, and it's called the hora dance.
Is it catchy? It's like a catchy.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Yeah,
it is.
It'll get you dancing.
It's very very catchy.
And
In
then at the end, they throw the groom up in the air.
Well, what happens here? Here's a little bit of what it sounds like. Okay, I'll play a little of it here. So everybody's dancing in a circle.
That is catchy.
Okay, and they're all holding hands, and they all go in a circle to the beat of the music, and then they all go another way.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they get a chair, and they bring it in the middle, and they get 4 strong guys
To hold up that chair.
to
right?
hold the chair. And then people take turns from the wedding party, namely the bride and the groom, and they sit in the chair. And they get hoisted up in the air,
Yeah.
and they go up, and you go up and down and
Sounds
up
like
and
fun
down like
until
this.
somebody hurts
It's a
their
lot
back.
of fun. Well, I've seen disasters happen at weddings and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs
And usually,
where this is
there
done.
a little bit of liquor involved? A little bit of drink?
A little is an understatement at a wedding. So I have seen a bride whack her head on a chandelier.
Oh my gosh! Oh no!
I have seen a bride fall out of the chair because it just tipped
Yeah.
over and they couldn't hold the chair.
And that chandelier could split her head wide open.
I have seen a groom fall down out of the
Mm-hmm.
chair.
Did anybody have to be taken to the hospital for stitches?
Not that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what the hora is.
Oh.
That's that's what it is.
It looks like a lot of fun, though.
It is a
It's-
lot of fun when done properly.
And it looks like something you would see in the spirit of a movie or like a big scene in a movie at a
Yeah.
wedding or some sort of thing.
Yes, exactly.
I've never witnessed it in real life where people have tossed grooms up in the air
It's
and the chair. And
it's quite the bit.
Mhm.
It's quite the bit.
I'm sure it's something to see.
Yes. My next story is a man in Turkey was reported missing last week on Tuesday after his loved ones lost touch with him for several hours. Apparently, he'd gone out drinking with some friends and then wandered into the woods. Now, while in the woods, the guy saw people looking for someone. So he joined in the search as well, trying to help. And he did this for hours. Eventually, he noticed that they were chanting his name.
Oh, so he joined in the search, not knowing that they were actually searching for him?
Right. They were searching for
What?
him. So as they were
That's
chanting his
crazy.
name, he responded with saying, "Oh, I'm right here." So once the authorities confirmed he was with them,
Yeah.
they called off the search and gave him a ride home.
Sounds like a wild goose chase.
Yes, exactly. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, there she is. There's Sunshine. How you doing?
Tired. I did not want to get up this morning.
I kind of figured that. Did you have your morning cup of Joe? Did you have your well, you're not awake if you answered, huh? Did you have your morning cup of Joe this morning?
No, I have it with me though.
Oh, okay. So you haven't drank your coffee yet.
Freshly brewed in the Keurig?
Okay.
Freshly brewed.
Yes, freshly brewed in the Keurig for shizzle. And what did we brew this morning?
Because I hit snooze 5 times, I just ended up grabbing the donut one, the donut coffee shop, because I used 2 pods because I made a really big cup of coffee.
Oh boy, it must be a rough morning if you made 2 cups. Yeah, things must be rough for you this morning.
2 12-ounce cups.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, man.
Bonnie, that's enough to fill a gas tank.
For those rough mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt so good this morning because if you recall, last Monday morning, I was sick.
That's
I was
right.
home
You weren't
bedridden.
feeling too well.
Yeah. So, I get kind of nervous like a following week, like from week to week. If I remember that I was sick on that day, the following week, I'm like, oh boy, what happens if I'm sick tomorrow? But I'm relieved that I woke up this morning feeling good.
You're here. You're feeling good.
I think mine was just because Saturday night into Sunday, I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. and then I got up at like 8. And it's just been go, go, go. And then, I think my whole weekend has been like that, just between moving stuff out of the office and having to move things around and having to...
The baby shower.
Yeah, the baby shit, just doing everything. It was just kind of a busy weekend. But like I went to bed earlier than I usually go to bed. So, but I woke up really tired. I kept hitting snooze, and the next thing I knew, it was like 7:30, so I had to get out of bed.
Get on the turnpike this morning. The reason I asked, I just had this thing incoming. Looks like the turnpike southbound in Port St. Lucie is turning out kind of to be a mess this morning.
Oh, no.
Because we mentioned we had that construction going on between mile marker 141 down to 137 southbound with that left lane being blocked. Now there is an accident right in that general area.
Oh, yikes.
Southbound on the turnpike, Port St. Lucie. This accident is at mile marker 143. No lanes blocked from the accident, but already there with some road construction in that area. I think you're going to see a tie-up.
Okay.
No, I knock on wood, I don't have to get on the turnpike. I just take the boulevard.
That would not be pretty if she had to get on the turnpike this early in the morning.
Oh, you can take that back way too to Port St. Lucie Boulevard. Do you take like the back way?
No, because her office, where she goes to work at, is right like just beyond Darwin and Port St. Lucie Boulevard.
Okay.
So it's it's only like a 10-minute drive. It's not very far.
I think I asked you this. I might have asked you this before. If you take, say, if you're going westbound, if you're going westbound on Becker and you do not veer right to take the turnpike, if you go right across, I think you're going to go right across the turnpike straight. Is that like a back way that you can get to the town of Tradition?
Yes.
That is?
Yeah, you go, actually, you're talking about 95.
Yeah.
You take Becker. So in other words, from your house, well, no, because that would be the long way to go. But from our house, you go over 95 and go west to Village Parkway. And it's at the very end, and you make a right turn.
Oh, you hit Village Parkway when you take that.
Yep, and then you just take it north and it dumps you in Tradition.
That's awesome because I haven't taken that route before.
Yeah.
And I often wondered if that Becker, flying over the turnpike or over the interstate takes you out to Tradition.
Yep, it does.
I wondered.
It does.
And I did not know that.
It's great. It's a clean shot. It's literally a 6-mile drive.
Mm-hmm. So like, the road called Gilson? Gilson is the back road that I take from Palm City to get home to Port St. Lucie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You go through
Gilson, and then I go
you get on Becker Road there in Palm City and then go over the turnpike.
If I go over the turnpike there, will that also take me to the town of Tradition?
Yeah, that'll go.
Village Parkway?
You just stay on Becker Road and take Becker Road all the way till you can't go anymore.
Sweet.
There you go.
Because that's a faster route. Because to get to Tradition before, I was going all the way out to 95, taking Citrus out to 95.
Yeah.
95 to Tradition, I was taking a really long way.
Yeah, you can take, you can go Citrus too. I mean, it all does the same thing.
It all connects, doesn't it, Evan?
It all connects, definitely. So anyway, well, listen, I hope you have a wonderful day. Painter's coming today. So the official office project has been underway. Our house is in a complete shamble right now.
Rachel.
And I am not happy.
It sounds like your office is going to look really pretty.
It is.
The way he described it?
I didn't hear him describe it. I was still sleeping.
Like the color of
She was sleeping.
like a
It's an
gray and
espresso.
silvery
Yeah, gray and
espresso.
silver with the furniture is espresso color.
Oh yeah, that's
good. The paint I picked is called Distant Star.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah,
it.
Evan made the mistake and sent me to Home Depot.
Yeah, I sent her to Home Depot to get
pick
the
up
paint.
the paint.
But I gave her very specific instructions.
And did you write it down?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She walked up to the guy, opened up her phone, and said, "This is what my husband said to get." And she read it off verbatim, and the guy knew exactly what to give her.
Yeah. Right. But I had to pick out the type of gray, and it was like trying to figure out which gray
Yeah, she had to
was
pick
going
the color.
to look okay in there. Because at one point I almost picked gray with amethyst undertone. But then I was like, no, I don't think I really want the purple in there. Then I was like a blue one. I'm like, forget it. Let me just keep going. And finally I found one. I was like, okay, not too light, not too dark.
Wow.
Yep.
And it was called Distant Star. So then I walked up and I opened my phone and I was like, this is what I need.
Nice.
And the girl was like, okay.
Yeah, it was real simple. And the girl knew there were no other questions needed to be asked.
Yeah, it's
got 2 gallons.
Good.
It was there. It was all written on the outside of the can, and boom, away we go.
And you're so glad you didn't have to go back.
No.
Yeah.
No. So we're all good to
Did
go.
it right the first time,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, so it's the walls are going to be a lighter gray, and then the carpet's like a silvery gray.
That's going to be pretty.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we got to run. We got to get to news. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in your freshly painted office when you get home later today.
Love you.
All right, love you too. Bye-bye. 7:50 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and time for the important stuff right now. And it's time for news, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. For the best deals in town on precious metals, go see our good friend Hawk Levy, St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Here's Bonnie with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The family of Mia Marcano demanding accountability from the Orange County Sheriff's Office in the 19-year-old's abduction and murder.
In these type of investigations, every second matters. And the time that they needed, they just basically dropped the ball.
Marcano family attorney Daryl Washington is calling for the termination of a deputy for not detaining the only person of interest. That's Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the apartment complex where Marcano lived. He killed himself days after Marcano went missing. Port St. Lucie PD detectives continue to make progress in the tragic shooting death of Gabriella Hanley that occurred over 10 days ago. Through numerous interviews, they've identified 3 persons of interest in the investigation, 2 adults and 1 juvenile. They are asking anyone who has seen the 2 individuals with a 2019-2021 silver Nissan Altima or know the whereabouts of these 2 individuals to contact Detective Richard Gacion at 772-807-4401. They are not considered suspects, and they are currently no criminal charges filed against them. The Nissan Altima has not been located, but it's believed the vehicle was rented between October 4th through October 7th of 2021. A long-running entertainment complex in Martin County is closing. The 76 Gulf World Family Fun Center on Canner Highway in Stewart announced Wednesday online its last day of operation will be November 7. After close to 32 years in business, the owner has decided to retire, according to its website. We want to thank everyone that has supported us throughout the years, and we hope we gave you all a lot of cherished memories. It's been fun. According to a post signed by Steve Coy on 76 Gulf World's Facebook page, the property has not been sold yet. The owner and I think it's time, according to the post. The 76 Gulf World Family Fun Center is the only golf entertainment facility in the county with 2 18-hole mini golf courses, go-karts for kids and adults, a driving range, batting cages, an arcade, bumper cars, jump shot basketball, and kiddie bumper boats. Cruise ships are sailing from the port of Tampa again. Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Sea departed Saturday. It was the first cruise ship to sail from Tampa in 19 months due to COVID-19 restrictions. Well, lastly, a judge on Friday denied a last-ditch effort to dismiss a criminal case against actor Jussie Smollett, who is accused of lying to police when he reported that he was the victim of a racist anti-gay attack in downtown Chicago in January 2019. An attorney for the former Empire actor said Smollett's rights were being violated since he had already performed community service and given up a $10,000 bond under a previous deal with Cook County prosecutors to drop charges. But Judge James Lynn noted that Smollett's case now was being led by a special prosecutor appointed by another judge, an arrangement that he would not upset. Lynn said jury selection in Smollett's trial would start November 29. The Jacksonville Jaguars' 20-game losing streak is over. Matthew Wright's 53-yard field goal as time expired gave the Jags a 23-20 victory over the Dolphins at London. Dolphins coach Brian Flores taking full responsibility for the loss.
That starts with me. I'm not doing a good enough job of getting these guys ready to play. Not playing consistently enough.
Miami and Jacksonville
So
are
I'm not
both
coaching well enough.
Miami and
I'm not playing well
Jacksonville.
enough.
Miami and Jackson. I didn't mean to go over that actuality. Too much coffee and I jumped my gun this morning.
Sorry.
I think Brian Flores is going to fire me. Miami and Jacksonville are both 1-5 on the season. Elsewhere in the NFL, Tampa Bay did beat Philadelphia. We had Pittsburgh beating Seattle in a close game, 23-20. Green Bay over the Bears, 24-13 yesterday. News time at 7:55 with weather and traffic together next.
$7:56 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
Well, on the Turnpike southbound in Port St. Lucie, you might see some tie-up. Of course, we have the road construction going on there, that left lane being blocked between mile markers 141 and 137 this morning. Also an accident right in that area. It's on the Turnpike southbound, mile marker 143 in Port St. Lucie. No lanes are blocked currently from that accident. If you see something, say something, let us know. 220-9788, 220-WSTU. It's 75 degrees in Stewart, 70 in Port St. Lucie. Here's more on the forecast, WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as we're waking up along the Treasure Coast.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. It's October the 18th, 2021.
Don't you hate it when somebody says that you look exactly like so-and-so?
Yeah, I do. I get that all the time.
I don't know if you've worked with one of these. We call it a microphone.
Yeah, it's something that I talk into.
I don't know who you are.
Okay, well, I'm Evan. That's Bonnie. And soon to join us is Dr. John Millay. But first, we have to verify the time. It's 8:08 this morning, so Mr. Clock, would you please do that?
It's now 8:08 a.m.
8:08 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and of course, joining us from his palatial office in our palatial studios is the one and only superintendent of the Martin County school system, a gentleman that needs really no introduction because he has 101 bow ties. Dr. John Millay is with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
We're great.
And which bow tie are we wearing today?
We're wearing a little blue kind of denim looking bow tie.
Oh, he's in a denim mood today.
Yeah. Just
All right.
that's styling. It's kind of laid back with the denim look, but still styling.
You know, it's any more simple. It's kind of like the smallest thing that I can still have control over. What I put on my neck or my feet. That's about all I can truly control. The rest, we do our best.
I was seeing the picture. I think you had it on a Facebook page or some sort of thing. I saw it just last night where Dr. Millay was standing right outside our studio.
Oh, yeah, he did a selfie.
With a great looking selfie right in front of the building.
I think he's the only superintendent in the state of Florida that does selfies wherever he goes and posts them. And I actually love that he does that because it's a reflection of his vibrant personality.
Yeah, you must get along really well with the kids, don't you, Dr. Millay?
We try like to meet our staff and find out what's going on and out at the buildings or I work with a lot of great community members every day, chambers, and just good working people that we try to highlight.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So tell us about this new app that the district just launched. I'm real curious to hear about that because, as you know, nowadays everybody is tech savvy and nobody reads paper anymore. They love to read the information on their phone. So this is a great utility, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you know what? I would encourage everybody that if you had our old app, delete the old one. This is the new one you get at the App Store, but we're kind of rebranding. We're trying. The old app, you would have had a few links, and when you pushed it, it would have actually went to a slow portion of the old website. This is designed totally different. It's quicker. Those things that parents would really want to know. We try to think, what are those 5 or 10 things that you really need to know daily or might want to, and that's on there. So there's live feeds of this going on in our districts. There's calendar, breakfast, lunch menus, just dress, student code of conduct type things. So those things that parents want are right there.
That's a beautiful thing. And of course, they can go to the App Store or you can go to the Google Play Store and you can get that new app and delete the old one, as John says. Man, one thing that I love, the fact that everybody's hiring, including the school district. You guys have got positions in just about everywhere in any type of field that people can go and partake in, right?
And it's that's like most districts throughout Florida and the country right now. It's just the current state that we're in. Of course, we need additional classroom teachers. We need employee substitute teachers, bus operators, bus assistants, food service workers, custodians, paraprofessionals, maintenance. So if someone out there has HVAC or plumbing, electrician, utility, we are adding to our staff. And I want to shout out to all those people that work in those positions currently throughout the district. Appreciate them. It's huge to keep the district running. So yes, we need subs, again, bus operators, assistants, food service workers, teachers, custodians. So look us up, martinschools.org. If you're not sure, you can call. We'll walk you through that process and get you going. You go to the main website and click Explore Job Opportunities.
Publix is playing a very huge part this year in the district once again, especially for Title I schools, aren't they?
Sure. And you can go there and get your shopping, get great cake or something. I've learned those are always good. But they've donated funds for classroom supplies to Title I schools throughout the Martin County School District. In late September, members from the Publix charities gave gift cards totaling over $45,000 through our purchasing warehousing team for distribution to campuses. So we appreciate Publix and all they're doing to help our schools and our kids.
Let's talk a little bit about the honor students, you're going to be honoring students. The district's set to honor the students who have earned a perfect score on the statewide assessments last school year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wow.
Yeah, well, if you think back to school, imagine you take a test and there was always somebody that had the highest grade, but there was always once in a while that one that got a perfect score. So this is with a portion of the state assessment. So we had 117 students that on November 18th, we're going to honor them because they earned a perfect score on one or more of the statewide assessments in the 2021 school year. We'll have ceremonies that begin at 5:30 for students in elementary and at 6:15 for students enrolled in middle or high school. That's going to be held at Martin County High School, the auditorium there. The student perfect mastery of content is to be commended. We're proud of them and we're going to celebrate them.
What are the odds of one earning a perfect score? Is that like winning the lottery or something? I mean, and how often does that happen?
If you just kind of think, most of our kids starting in third grade, so if you have 18,000 students, and then kids test basically third grade till the end, and high school students take end of course assessments and things like that. So if you imagine all the different tests, so an elementary students may take multiple tests for reading, math, different areas. So of all those individual tests that kids take, just 100, a little over 100. One of those tests they had taken, they got 100 on. So it's pretty small odds. It's pretty neat.
Fascinating. I bet the parents of those kids are truly happy.
Oh, that's bragging rights. There's bragging rights, I guess, there. If you
you
get 100% on a test, that's awesome.
You have the little bumper sticker on the back of that vehicle. Hey, my kid got 100.
Right.
Proud student who got a perfect score. There you go. That's a big bumper sticker.
Let's talk about some dates that are on the horizon for the Martin County School District. If you won, the first one, of course, is early release date. Kids love that one, obviously.
Yeah, from time to time, we have a few of those built in the year. We have this early release day. Our staff stay and do training. The students are dismissed a couple hours earlier than normal. Parents, mark your calendar. If you get that app that we were talking about, you'll see that on that Martin County School District app. And you're also going to see, while we're talking about that app, I forgot, the Focus Parent Portal. So like Evan, you had mentioned, your son, you all were able to log in. Every district has a platform, but ours is called Focus. You can see their grades, their attendance, keep up with what they're doing. That's there. So get that app, everybody. Then on Wednesday, October 20th is the day we paint Martin County School District orange in recognition of National Bullying Prevention Month. Orange is established a national color to wear as the date we collectively convey a message of kindness, acceptance throughout the schools and communities. So orange is the color of happiness, positivity. So we're excited about that. And then Thursday, the 21st at 5:30, our ESE department will host its first parent workshop. The topic is transitioning between levels from elementary through high school. So basically is a parent, if you have a child with a special need, it's kind of an update on what to look for as your child's going from elementary into middle and high, those interesting points. And we want to plan for kids and not just make sure parents it's predictable. And then finally on the Environmental Studies Center will host a free open house Saturday, October 23rd from 10 to 1. Guests will have the opportunity to meet the center's resident alligator and sea turtle, Joey and Shelby, which it is really cool. Not many places have their own, little aquarium aquatic area there, the Environmental Science Center. So that's really,
Oh, that
really
is
neat.
cool. Where is the Environmental Science Center? Where is that?
It's across. I forget the drive there, right on the water. With me trying to, I can drive right there, cross the first bridge, go up the coast, left towards St. Lucie. It's the original Jensen Beach building.
Nice.
So we're tearing. Now where Jensen Beach Elementary School is, the one that we're tearing down and building a new one. But the original Jensen Beach school is located right there on the waterway, and it's still intact. It's been taken care of, and it hosts a wide variety of, learning opportunities, aquatic. There's lizards and all kinds of things that are all things Florida in there. And our staff are fantastic doing that. The Environmental Studies Science Center. If you go to our website, you can link our schools. You'll click a link there, and it'll tell you all the contact information, address. Beautiful site though, right there overlooking the water. Neat little.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Dr. Molay. Just awesome.
Very good. Very good.
Hey, and one last thing again, that parent portal, can't stress that enough. If a parent is out there listening, if you cannot get logged into it, call the school district. We have people that will talk you through, we'll reset whatever old password doesn't work, and we'll get it going for you.
Sounds fantastic. That's Dr. John Molay. He's the superintendent of the Martin County School System. He joins us each and every Monday morning pertaining to Martin County. John, always a pleasure. Have a wonderful work week, and we look forward to speaking to you next time.
Thank you. You too.
All right,
Have a good one, Bonnie.
take
Have
care.
a good one, Dr. Molay. Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now. It's time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up this morning at $1,766.50, and silver opening up at $23.30. That's the Precious Metals Report, and it's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. $8:20 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news this morning. Let's go right to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Hey, we have breaking news this morning that Colin Powell has died. Colin Powell, the first Black U.S. Secretary of State, whose leadership in several Republican administrations helped shape American foreign policy in the last years of the 20th century and the early years of the 21st, has died from complications from COVID-19. He was 84. General Colin L. Powell, former U.S. Secretary of State and chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, passed away this morning due to complications from COVID-19. The Powell family wrote on Facebook, "We have lost a remarkable and loving husband, father, grandfather, and a great American," they said, noting he was fully vaccinated. Powell was a distinguished and trailblazing professional soldier whose career took him from combat duty in Vietnam to becoming the first Black national security advisor during the end of Ronald Reagan's presidency and the youngest and first African-American chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George H.W. Bush. Colin Powell, dead at 84, due to complications from COVID-19. Fort Pierce Police Department officers responded to the 1300 block of Avenue J at 9 p.m. in reference to a shooting. According to police, multiple unknown suspects drove to the victim's house and fired several shots, striking 2 adult victims. They were both transported to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Both suspects fled the scene after the shooting. During the shooting, police say a child was also in the area and was taken to Lawnwood for precautionary reasons. According to police, during the investigation, officers found many firearms and illicit narcotics inside one of the victims' homes. The investigation continues, and police are looking for a newer model Jeep, white with a black roof. If you can identify the suspects or have other information about the crime, please call Detective Charles Montano at 518-774-1151 or call Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers at 800-273-8477. You can remain anonymous. The FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products. Here's more on that story.
For the first time in history, the FDA authorized 3 e-cigarette products. The View Solo device. The agency says the company that makes the View Solo gave them data that shows it can actually be helpful to cigarette smokers. In an email to me, the FDA said the potential benefit to smokers who switch completely or significantly reduce their cigarette use would outweigh the risk to youth.
The FDA is saying that this particular product is appropriate for the protection of public health.
That's American Vaping Association President Gregory Conley. He says electronic cigarettes, which have been sold in the U.S. since 2006, are an important step in the fight to smokers quit tobacco cigarettes. But last year, the FDA also took steps to keep vape products out of kids' hands, sending warning letters to 10 companies telling them to pull their flavored e-cigarette and e-liquid products because they appeal to young people.
Inhaling anything directly into the lungs is not a good idea.
Hasmina Kathuria is an associate professor of medicine at Boston University and the director of the Tobacco Treatment Center. She says she's glad the FDA is acting on its promise to regulate these products, but the U.S. Surgeon General's office says since 2014, e-cigarettes have been the most commonly used tobacco product by American kids, and Hasmina says that's concerning.
All e-cigarettes should not be allowed on the market because of one, the youth epidemic of nicotine addiction. 2, we know that there's FDA approved medications for smoking cessation that are regulated, that we know are safe, that we know that they're effective.
We know e-cigarettes aren't leaving the market anytime soon. We also know the FDA will make these authorizations and marketing decisions on a case-by-case basis. The agency told me it hopes to get to a place where every vape product is appropriate for the protection of the public health. I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
The Children's Museum of the Treasure Coast is hosting its Glitter and Glam Gala to raise exhibits and scholarship programs. The museum has 3 wings with 30 interactive exhibits. They include a full grocery store, a shooting cannon on a massive pirate ship, and a giant game of operation. The Jensen Beach Museum encourages hands-on educational play that steps back from technology. The gala will support new exhibits, mobile programs that take the exhibits to classrooms, and scholarships to bring children through the doors. WPTV News Channel 5's Ashley Walters will serve as the Master of Ceremonies for the museum's upcoming Glitter and Glam Gala, which provides funding for exhibits in classroom learning opportunities and scholarships. Held Saturday, November 6th at Harbor Ridge Yacht and Country Club with a jungle safari theme. A U.S. Congresswoman from Florida wants the government to return her money. Corinne Brown filed a petition Friday to be reimbursed for over $40,000, which the government seized during her 2017 corruption trial. Brown's conviction was reversed in May of this year by an appeals court. And lastly, another Democrat is planning a run for governor. Miami State Senator Annette Taddeo is expected to announce her candidacy today. Taddeo was once the running mate of Charlie Crist, who is also seeking the Democratic nomination. It's jamboree time in college basketball. Last week in Tallahassee, the IRSC Pioneers swept all three opponents from Pasco Hernando, Bishop State of Mobile, Alabama, and South Carolina, Salkehatchie. Saturday in Orlando, the All-American Jamboree attracted the best in the USA, with 91 colleges converging before nearly 80 NCAA Division I coaches. The Pioneers pounded their playoff nemesis, the Chipola Indians, 51-34. Game 2, we saw Georgia Tech Engineering a 50-41 win over the Pioneers. Cap, IRSC edged Gulf Coast State 28-27. The Pioneers will conclude the exhibition season at Barry University on October 29th. The regular season tips Monday, November 1st at 5:30 on the main campus gym. Our sister station, WPSL, will broadcast and worldwide streamcast 41 IRSC men's and women's games this season. That's a lot of busyness going on. Our news time is 8:28, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:29 right now on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
We do see a couple of accidents right now. Seeing the one we saw before earlier on the Turnpike southbound, there is an accident at mile marker 143 in Port St. Lucie. There's no lanes blocked at the moment from this accident. And we are looking at another one coming in. Also in Stewart on I-95 southbound, there is an accident southbound at mile marker 101 in Stewart. There's no roadblock, but I guess if you're I-95 southbound in the Port St. Lucie area, I-95 southbound the Stewart area this morning, you're going to see maybe a little bit of slowdown, some activity definitely in the area of those two accidents. And there's your latest look at traffic. 75 in Stewart and Port St. Lucie 1. Here's more on the forecast at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as you're waking up along the Treasure Coast. The humidity has gone down a little bit more, so it feels much more comfortable out there for your Monday morning. This afternoon, highs in the mid-80s, low humidity, mostly sunny and breezy conditions at times. The pleasant weather continues through the middle of the work week. Highs in the mid-80s, mainly dry with mostly sunny skies and breezy winds.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the biggest little radio show on the biggest little planet, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie.
8:34 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, astronauts and space cadets of all ages, it's time for the Monday morning edition of the Space Report. And here he is, without further ado, a gentleman that is outstanding in his own field, Captain Randy Siegel. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for that intro.
I thought you'd like that.
Yes, sir. Well, it was 1967 when Russia had its Venera 4 spacecraft enter the atmosphere of Venus. However, it failed to make a successful landing. In 1989, NASA launched its STS-34 shuttle mission. This mission is noteworthy because it carried the Jupiter-bound Galileo spacecraft. And at the time, NASA was still launching satellites from shuttles, and it successfully deployed Galileo. In 1993, we had the STS-58 mission, and that mission was very instrumental in providing the first in-flight use of a portable in-flight landing operation trainer. It was also the last Columbia mission to land at Edwards Air Force Base. And in 2003, the Expedition 8 mission launched with Mike Foale from the United States and Alexander Kaleri from Russia. This was a noteworthy mission because it also carried the first European Space Agency astronaut, Pedro Duque, into orbit. And it was the first spacecraft that had a two-person spacewalk at the International Space Station. Russia's cosmonaut Anatoly Ivanushin has decided to hang up his spacesuit. He made the decision, having flown 3 times into space, to hang it up and conduct scientific activities on Earth. Ivanushin is the cosmonaut who came up with the idea of using tea leaves to find the leak in the Russian Zvezda module. And it was successful, and they were able to put a patch on that particular vehicle. The astronauts are a little bit less on board the space station. Russian cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky, along with Russian actress Parasild and Russian producer-director Klim Sherpenko, landed yesterday on the steppes in Kazakhstan. They had a tremendous 13-day mission where they were filming a movie that will take place on the International Space Station. The crew arrived on the 5th for this 12-day mission, and the movie is called Challenge. And it should be quite a spectacular movie. We still have a bunch of astronauts on board the station doing a lot of good work. And later this month, on the 30th, 4 more astronauts headed for the space station. Rajat Shari, Thomas Marshburn, and Caleb Barron will launch along with European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Marr, who will join the crew for a 6-month tour on board the station. The film crew is now credited with clogging up the Russian segment of the space station. Russia said that they were unable to clean a lot of areas and do a lot of work because of the filming that was taking place. So now that that crew has left, it's up to the current Russian crew to up the Russian segment to make it freer from debris and to start moving things back where they need to be moved. The astronauts that have returned from the space station are now undergoing rehabilitation outside of Star City, which is what they do every time they return from a long-duration mission. Hey, Lucy! Yep, Lucy was launched successfully on October the 16th, on Saturday, heading for the asteroid belt. When it reaches the asteroid belt, it will send back a lot of information about those asteroids and what makes up the asteroid belt. One problem, however, is that while the spacecraft appears to be very healthy, they're analyzing when one of the solar arrays has fully deployed and locked in place. They were able to verify that one of the solar arrays, which are a new way, having a circular array, locked in space properly. However, the other one may not be fully latched. So teams are analyzing to see if it'll have any impact on this particular mission. China continues to have its 3-person crew on board its space station. China, as you know, on Friday, successfully launched 3 new toyconauts to their space station. Zai Zhaogang, along with Wang Yaoping, who are veteran space flyers, launched with Yi Gofeng to the station. So now the Chinese have 2 men and 1 woman on board their space station. There's a lot of discussion that the Chinese woman will make the first spacewalk of a Chinese female in space. Everything looks to be going extremely well for that particular mission. China has even repeated its call for international crews to go to the Chinese space station. They said that they will welcome foreign astronauts to their station as they continue to expand it and make it larger than they have originally. China has also said that one of its spacecrafts, a Shenzhou-10 satellite, seemed to have come back to life after 2.5 weeks being in orbit. When it entered orbit, they had problems and they were unable to communicate with that particular satellite. But now, miraculously, it has come back. And the Chinese say that it may be a successful mission after all. Monaco wants to enter the space race and has created a Bureau of Space Affairs. This shows you just how important the space platform has become for many countries around the world. On Mars, the Perseverance spacecraft continues to show that there was a delta and flood deposits in the Jezero crater on Mars, indicating that at some point in ancient Martian history, there was flowing water that took place on the red planet. Some of the key information came back from photographs that were sent that showed objects that could only have been moved and could only have been the result of flooding on the red planet. We're also getting ready to see the launching of the first wooden satellite. They want to launch a wooden satellite, the Finnish government, sometime this year. However, due to frequency radio problems on board the craft, that will be moved to sometime next year, possibly as late as July of next year, something the Finnish were not wanting to do. Disability may not be a problem, and we're seeing that on zero gravity, that's the airplane that carries would-be astronauts and provides about 35 seconds per parabola, where they go up, then they have a nosedive, and when they pull up, the participants get about 35 seconds of weightlessness. Well, it appears now that they're going to fly this with people with disabilities. They want to show that even though you may have a disability, there's no reason you can't go into space and do scientific research as well. Boeing tomorrow is going to let us know more about their CST-100 Starliner spacecraft. There seems to be a growing consensus that Starliner, which was supposed to complement the Dragon spacecraft carrying individuals to orbit, has suffered a setback due to issues with their thrusters and due to valve problems. Well, tomorrow, 2:30, NASA and Boeing will explain these problems and give us an update on what's happening with their vehicle. Space tourism seems to have reduced the flight clearance requirements. Sending tourists into space has reduced the requirements for the physically training and health professional candidates to participate in missions. It appears that since we have healthy people that are training, we may not have to have the restrictions that we once had. Tomorrow we'll tell you more about the CST-100, as well as a Japanese billionaire getting ready to go to the space station. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Captain Randy Siegel on the program with a space report. He's on here each and every weekday at this time, giving you the latest and greatest of all things pertaining to NASA. 8:45 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news, all brought to you this time by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deals in town on precious metals. It's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Bonnie standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And that breaking news this morning is the word on Colin Powell, the first Black U.S. Secretary of State whose leadership in several Republican administrations helped shape American foreign policy in the last years of the 20th century and the early years of the 21st, has died from complications from COVID-19. He was 84. Powell was a distinguished and trailblazing professional soldier whose career took him from combat duty in Vietnam to becoming the first Black National Secretary Advisor during the end of Ronald Reagan's presidency and the youngest and first African American chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George H.W. Bush. Colin Powell dies at 82 from COVID-19 complications, his family wrote on Facebook. The family of Mia Marcano demanding accountability from the Orange County Sheriff's Office in the 19-year-old's abduction and murder.
In these type of investigations, every second matters. And the time that they needed, they just basically dropped the ball.
Marcano family attorney Daryl Washington is calling for the termination of a deputy for not detaining the only person of interest. That's Armando Caballero, the maintenance worker at the apartment complex where Marcano lived. He killed himself days after Marcano went missing. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles is warning Floridians about a texting scheme. In a tweet, the agency said it will never text state residents asking for personal, medical, or driver license information. The tweet said if you receive the message, do not reply or give out any information. Port St. Lucie police detectives continue to make progress in the tragic shooting death of Gabriella Hanley that occurred over 10 days ago. Through numerous interviews, they have identified 3 persons of interest in the investigation, 2 adults and 1 juvenile. They are asking anyone who has seen 2 individuals with a 2019-2021 silver Nissan Altima or know the whereabouts of these 2 individuals to call Detective Richard 72807-4401. They are not considered suspects, and there are currently no criminal charges filed against them. The Nissan Altima has been located, but it's believed the vehicle was rented between October 4th through October 7th of 2021. A long-running entertainment complex in Martin County is closing. The 76 Golf World Family Fun Center on Canner Highway in Stuart announced Wednesday online its last day of operation will be November 7th. After close to 32 years in business, the owner has decided to retire, according to its website. We want to thank everyone that has supported us throughout the years, and we hope we gave you a lot of cherished memories. It's been fun, according to signed by Steve Coy on 76 Golf World's Facebook page. The property has not been sold yet. The owner and I think it's time, according to the post. The 76 Golf World Facility Fun Center is the only golf entertainment facility in the county. And lastly, e-scooters have returned to Fort Pierce for at least the next 3 years. Spin, a micro-mobility company headquartered in San Francisco, is launching a fleet of 200 e-scooters downtown on Hutchinson Island and throughout the city as part of the new e-scooter share program, according to a city news release. The number of electric scooters may change based on demand. E-scooters are available for rent 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily at locations throughout the city. The company now has slow zones, no parking zones, and no ride zones based on findings from the city's previous pilot program. Fort Pierce was Spin's first e-scooter program in Florida. The company, which operated locally through Boston-based Zagster, a company which ended operations in 2020, launched the one-year e-scooter share pilot program in September 2019 with 150 scooters. Jacksonville snapped a 20-game losing streak with a 23-20 win over the Dolphins in London. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence says the team was confident.
We decided earlier this week we're going to win this game, and we talked about on the sideline there's going to be so many ups and downs throughout every game. You just got to keep playing, and we did that and found a way to win.
And Lamar Jackson set an NFL record with his 35th win Sunday, the most in NFL history for a quarterback under the age of 25. He broke the mark of 34 wins previously held by Dan Marino. Drew Bledsoe was the only other player since the 1970 merger with more than 30 wins before the age of 25. News Time 8:50 with weather and traffic together next.
$8:52 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Here's a final look outside. Bonnie, what's going on?
Well, we do see the accident on the turnpike. It's southbound at mile marker 143 in Port St. Lucie. Turnpike southbound, no lanes are blocked from that accident right there. There's an accident also on I-95 southbound in Stuart. This is at mile marker 101 at Canner Highway. I-95 southbound, no roadblock from that accident. And there's your latest look at traffic. It's 73 Port St. Lucie and some rain showers in Bristol, England this morning, and 62. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a change in the weather pattern thanks to a passing cool front. This front has dropped temperatures in the mid-60s as you're waking up along the Treasure Coast. The humidity has gone down a little bit more, so it feels much more comfortable out there for your Monday morning. This afternoon, highs in the mid-80s, low humidity, mostly sunny and breezy conditions at times. The pleasant weather continues through the middle of the work week. Highs in the mid-80s, mainly dry with mostly sunny skies and breezy winds.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Pumpkin Spice Cheerios are in stores again for the 5th year. That's right. You've been able to get Pumpkin Spice Cheerios since 2016. You may not think that's a big deal because when you go to the grocery store, there's an entire shelf featuring a myriad of Cheerios flavors. Honey Nut Cheerios, Banana Nut, Cinnamon Burst, Multigrain, Peanut Butter Cheerios, and the list goes on. But from 1941 to 1976, there was one flavor of Cheerios, and that flavor was paper. So cherish your Pumpkin Spice Cheerios, you spoiled, inappreciative, ungrateful twit. No, General Mills has nothing to do with this silly little rant.
That was good.
That's so cute.
You little twit. Oh my gosh. So I can't believe, Bonnie, Halloween is right around the corner. I can't get over this.
Yeah, this has got to be like the fastest month of the year for me because, I just love Halloween too, Evan, and October always goes by in an eye blink for me.
Right?
Only a couple more weeks here in it.
Well, look at it this way. What is it, a week from, you got this week?
Just
and next week.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today, you'll be on officially vacation work-wise.
I will be up somewhere in the D-land, maybe the Ocala area of where the Ocala National Forest is. I will be experiencing Halloween and stuff up in that area. Kind of excited about it.
You're going to have a great time up there.
And the first time going to SeaWorld too. So it's going to be an experience for me. I've been to Universal before, but I've never been to SeaWorld.
Are you serious?
And I've never been to Walt Disney World. Like you said, you and Rachel will be.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to be finally going. It's like, wow.
Have you gone to Animal Kingdom before?
Yes, I have been. Yes.
And I've never been to that one either.
Great park to go to.
Yeah?
Lots to do.
What kind of animals
Everything.
would you enjoy?
It's like an oversized Lion Country safari.
Oh my gosh. And you know how much I love Lion Country Safari.
Yes, it's an oversized Lion Country safari.
Do they have a tower or two like Lion Country where you get really up and close to the giraffes?
You know what? The best thing to do is Google Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And take like a virtual tour, and it'll show you all the different things that you can do. You can go on like a wild safari ride. There's just so much to do there.
Oh man.
So much to do.
So like after the SeaWorld experience, I'm definitely going to have to do that one.
For
too.
shizzle. For shizzle, as they say. For sure.
Man, life's like a party when you live in
That's it.
Florida, huh?
You're just a party all around. Go to your house. You'll eat good. You'll sleep good. You'll drink good. And you'll barbecue good.
Carve some pumpkins.
There
too.
you go as well. Folks, that's a wrap for us. We're out of here. Remember, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside.
And have a harvest full of fun.
A harvest full of fun. I like that. Way to go, Bon Bon. Folks, make it a great day. We'll see you back here in about 21 hours on WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station.